So I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. We're coming up on the close of one of the most productive Congresses in recent memory. 2 years ago, we took a hard look at what was holding our communities back, and we came up with very thoughtful policy solutions. Those policies have delivered results. There may be no better example than historic tax reform. Week after week, we've told stories of economic resurgence that this country has experienced. It goes beyond the economy, too. Years of work went into legislation to bring true reforms to the Veterans Administration, to veterans health care. We passed policies to secure new opportunities, including overhauling the career and technical education system so that we can close that skills gap and get people to the careers that they want to get. We're back on the path to rebuilding our military. This year, we've already funded 75% of government. That means funding for the military, for veterans, for health, for labor, for education programs, to name a few, are already in place. The most that has been done on time before the deadline in 22 years. So we've accomplished quite a bit, and our nation is very much the better for it. Our nation is safer. Our nation is stronger for it. We have an opportunity in the next coming weeks to get a few more things done, to get some good things done. We want to reform our criminal justice system to give people another shot at contributing to their communities. We're still working on a farm bill. We're getting very close on the farm bill. We've got bipartisan initiatives to build on the success of tax reform. These are outstanding issues, and of course, as you can see, we want to secure our border. It's very important for the national security of our country that we actually secure our border. So in the next few weeks, we're going to continue to work to create a more prosperous, more confident, more secure America, and that's what we intend to do. Does anyone have any questions? Background.
Mr. Ryan, is there, the Democrats, particularly on the Senate side, they're still negotiating about what might be necessary to keep the government funded in these splash spending bills. Is there anything that you could see passing out of the House while Republicans are still in control that doesn't have the president's $5 billion?
The House has the president's $5 billion in the wall, and the House, obviously, you know, the House is there. We've never been the issue here. Our bill contains the president's full request for the border, but ultimately, the president and the Senate Democrats are going to have to come to agreement as well. As you know, this takes 60 votes in the Senate. Therefore, Senate Democrats have a say-so in appropriation matters. And so I think what we're going to have to do is just sort all of this out between all the parties that are involved.
So if they come to an agreement,
I'm not going to negotiate through the press. That's a foolish thing to do. But what we'll have to do is come together. I think hopefully after like Kevin said, hopefully after the election, Democrats realize a secure border should not be a Republican thing. It shouldn't be a Democrat thing. It's just good for the country to actually secure our border. The House is there. We hope the Senate comes with us.
Should Congress pursue any kind of formal sanction of Saudi Arabia for the killing of Khashoggi or for its actions in Yemen?
Look, well, I won't get into the Yemen issue, only to say that Iran bears a lot of responsibility, and it's in our national security interest to contain Iran and their proxy wars and their pursuit of nuclear weapons. With the Khashoggi case, it's very important, I think, that we speak with moral clarity. Realpolitik is very important, but realpolitik works if you do so from a position of moral clarity. And with respect to holding people accountable, we need to do that. I'm not going to get into the classified briefings that we've received. We have actually requested from the administration to come and give a briefing to all members of Congress. So I'm hoping that we can get the administration to come here in the next week or two to brief members on what our intelligence community knows about this case. That means there's more to find out and there's more to do on that, and I'll leave it at that.
Do you mean that the president needs
I think for our national security, we always need to stand up for our values. We always need to stand up for our interests. And when you're practicing realpolitik, you also have to stand up for American interests, and those two do not necessarily have to collide with one another.
Just following up on the wall question, Mr. Speaker, based on your meeting with the president yesterday, it sounds like he is very firm on the $5 billion, which I understand you guys have. But could you just provide us any suggestion of how you bridge the gap between the 1.6?
Again, I just don't think it's in our interest to be negotiating through the media. We're talking with Homeland Security, we're talking with the OMB on what kind of resources they need to do what they need to do. And that also means that our appropriators have to sort this out with themselves and the White House along with the Senate, which is clearly the obstacle here because they take a 60-vote threshold.
Last question,
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Not on inside negotiations here, but looking further out.
You think I'm going to do that, don't you?
Why not just approve a CR into next year and make this wall issue Democrats' problem if they can't agree with?
Because we still want to solve problems. We're elected to work for our constituents. We're elected to solve problems. And look, turn on the TV. You can see we have a problem at the border. So we want to secure our border. The House Republicans have always wanted to secure the border. The House Republicans have been passing bills to secure our border. And I'd like to think that Democrats would also want to join us in securing the border, especially after the election.